Once you have created your question bank, you're ready to add questions. So I've clicked inside my question bank and I will see the questions option here. When I click that, I see my menu of choices. The top section has the standard question types and below that are the enhanced. You'll need to scroll down to see all of your options. We'll begin with a multiple choice today because that's your most traditional and it has a lot of the elements of others. So when you're in here, you will first type in your question. So you will see when I'm typing my question, I have my typical editor with some editing functions. A couple to note is this one with a T here. That is a remove format. So if you're copy pasting text from another source, sometimes the formatting comes and you don't want it. If you highlight and then click this, it'll remove that formatting. Another common one is over here on the right, and this is to insert images. If I click this upload image button, I can attach a file which is a screenshot or a picture that I want to include in my question. I would select it, click open, and then it will insert that into the question. Now it's important to note that you cannot resize the image once it's in here, so make sure that the image is the correct size that you want before you paste it. If I scroll down, I will see now I have a place to put in my options, or these are my potential answers. So here you can see I've typed in my options. If I find I need another one, I can click on plus option at the bottom and it will give me another blank so that I can add my other option. If I find I want to remove an option, I can click the X over to the right side. There is a Distractor Rationale button. If I click that, it gives me an additional text box underneath each answer. Students will not see this. This is for other testers, and it gives you an explanation of why that distractor might be a reasonable distraction, and if a student chooses that, what would that be telling you as the tester? Down below, you will see here's where you choose your correct answer, so just check it. If you need alternative correct answers, you do have this plus button here where you can choose alternatives and give a certain percentage of the correct answer to that if there's like a half credit one. You also can choose multiple responses if more than one question needs to be selected, and you have the choice to shuffle answers. Not all question types have shuffle options. Sometimes you have to manually do that, so make sure you look at that question. You do have some different layout options, so you can choose how you want the question to look. You can even choose how many columns you want those to be in, so you have a little flexibility there. Author notes, again, that's just for the tester, and that's an overall comment about the question. And then you would save your question down below. Now before you do that, you are going to want to align your objectives. So we're going to click this Align Objectives, and for most of these you're going to go into Custom Learning Objectives and choose School. We want to all choose from the same place. Once you're in here, then you would find the folder that correctly aligns to your subject area, your PLC, and then you will drill down, and this one may not align, but I'm just going to choose one here. You drill down until it changes colors. You can apply more than one objective to a question type if you wish, and then you are going to click Confirm, and that question is now aligned to that standard. Click Save. Now your question has been added to the bank and you're ready to add additional questions. Your question is not quite ready to be added to an assessment yet, however. You'll notice over on the right-hand side there's a little orange button. If I click that, it will show me the status of my question. Right now it's just a draft. I will need to click Active and turn it into a live question before I can add it to a question bank. It's important to note that once you do that, you cannot align a standard to that question anymore. So it's important that you get that standard aligned correctly before you click Active. So when I do that, you'll notice it turns green. Now that's an active question. I cannot go back to draft at this point if it's already been proctored in a test. Now since it hasn't been in a test yet, I can still switch it. But be careful with that. If I've proctored it in a test and I don't need that question anymore, I can retire it, but I cannot delete the question. And that's because you need to keep it connected to any previous assessments. You do have the three dots where you can copy this question and then make another version of it. So you could retire an old one, copy it, fix it, and then realign it to a test. Or you can delete it, but I can't do that now that I've made it active.